Hi, my name is Sean Sands. I'm the digital marketing expert in web content at FindLaw, and I want to talk to you today about the actual text you'll be writing for your project website. I want to start with a little peek behind the scenes. So, when I was working on this presentation, I had a bunch of incredibly dull slides filled to capacity with words and bullet points. It was like a bullet point convention, and if I had used it, you would already be asleep. You see, there's a reality about the way people like to consume information. And that reality is that people hate giant blocks of text. I actually have this article from The Onion hanging in my office because it helps me remember that there are few things worse than clicking on a link and just seeing giant, dense blocks of words. It's a nightmare. Even though everything in my writer brain says my content is different, I know it's not true. You see, part of the problem is that text is already everywhere, even before you start writing body copy. Look at this, for example. This is ESPN's website front page a few months ago. I've highlighted everywhere that text shows up, and as you can see, it is pretty much everywhere. It's not just the articles and headlines, it's buttons, navigation, captions, scores, even the text inside videos and images themselves. Everything here is stuff that impacts users, and it's stuff that search engines see and evaluate as well. Just like content, with a capital C and an exclamation point, don't start thinking that text is just body copy either. The reality is that you need to spend time and thought on what it says in the button that goes to your email form, or the names you use for your pages in the main navigation. You need to do it with the same care and detail that you do the actual information in the middle of the page. Because if there's anything you should be realizing by now, it's that if a user is going to see it and draw a conclusion about it, then search engines are going to care about it. Everywhere that you write something on your project website creates or adds to an impression. That can include buttons and headlines, contact info, login forms, menus, search bars, everything in between. It's not that people are going to scrutinize that, but just like last time when we looked at 3 sites for a few seconds, all those things blend together to draw an impression. And if you're working with a business that's trying to attract customers, then you need to make sure that everything is pointed in the same direction to attract that business. So now, it's finally time to talk about keywords. But I don't want you to start thinking about them the way that people did 5 or 10 years ago, when the model was, if you wanted to rank well for something like restaurant searches, you just jammed the word restaurant and maybe your location into the text wherever you possibly could. That inevitably makes for bad content. Mechanical sounding phrases like, visit our Menominee, Wisconsin McDonald's, or we are the Northwestern Wisconsin Bank. Bad stuff. While that used to be more accepted as just a problem with doing business online, search engines have been hard at work trying to get their algorithms to do a much better job of reading things like a human would. The good news is that they've been largely successful. A lot of the artificial schemes SEO people used to use to force search engines into ranking them by manipulating language in terrible ways just aren't as effective as they used to be. You see, the thing is that keywords as a concept is something much simpler. Think of it this way. As I've been talking, I've been using keywords throughout without you ever thinking about it. In fact, you use keywords in every conversation, paper, or tweet you've ever done. It's just this. Keywords are the words and phrases we use naturally so that the other person knows what the heck we're talking about. Writing naturally, staying on point, having a specific thing you're trying to communicate, and being focused on doing so will force you to naturally use smart keywords. And search engines are good at recognizing and responding to that now. That doesn't mean keyword research and being deliberate about structuring your content doesn't matter. It just does a better job now of telling you how competitive what you're trying to accomplish is, and how you might use the tools at your disposal to accomplish that. Think about it like this. Think of a term like deli. Do you think that term is harder to get traction with if you're in downtown Manhattan or downtown Tulsa? Keyword research teaches you more about how to architect and organize your site than it does specific words to use, or worse, overuse. But a great starting point is just to remember to have a user in mind and communicate clearly to them. Remember earlier we mentioned content should have a reason to exist. It should help someone accomplish something. It should drive an action. Remember also how much Google wants to help people get answers to their questions or help them accomplish a goal? One of the best ways you can meet all of those goals at once is by making sure your content provides something of value. A short example. I recently had a plumbing issue in my home, and my first instinct was to figure out how to fix it myself. So I found a local plumber who had some videos on his website, and what I learned very quickly by watching this professional show me what I needed to do was that I definitely didn't want to do any of that. But when it came time to hire a plumber, I hired that guy, the guy who provided me information because he had provided me something of value, and also I trusted him more to know what he was doing. Information is valuable, and providing it helps build trust, not just with users, but with search engines as well. I visit a place online called the Content Marketing Institute, and they are definitely trying to sell me stuff. But they also provide great articles on content marketing and content strategy. That makes me trust them. If you do nothing else, avoid wherever possible just withholding information. So, finally some tips. Remember, simple and straightforward is best. You want people to be able to find what they're looking for quickly and easily. You should pay attention to every word you put on a page. And remember that even the words you put on a button or in the navigation draws an impression. Nobody wants to read a website like they would a spy novel. Nobody wants to wait till the last line to find out who done it. Don't hold back the good stuff. Make everything scannable so people can get where they want to go quickly. Even if you need a lot of content, break it up with headers. Use shorter paragraphs. Make sure you are sharing information, and make sure you remember that people may be interacting with businesses in other places like Facebook or email. Make sure what you say on the site matches those places. And there you go. That's content in text. Thanks so much for joining me. My name is Sean Sands. I'm the digital marketing expert in web content at FindLaw. I hope you found something you can use on your project. Good luck.